Isa ja Poja, Püha himmel. Aamen. Ja Isa, kes sa oled taevas, pühitsetud olgu sinu nimi. Sinu kuningriik tulgu, sinu tahtmine sündigu nagu taevas, nõnda ka maa peal.
Meie igapäevast leiba anna meile täna päev ja anna meile andeks meie võlad, nagu meie andeks anname oma võlglastele. Ja ära saada meid kiusatusse, vaid päästa meid kurjast.
Ole tervitatud Maarja, täisarmu, Issand on sinuga. Õnnistatud oled sa naiste seas ja õnnistatud on sinu jõuviili Jeesus.
Püha Maarja, Jumala ema, palun meie paduste eest, nüüd ja meie surmatunni lõuna.
Isa ja Poja, Püha Vaimu himmel. Faithful. So we finished the encyclic Quanta Cura by Pope Pius IX against liberalism. And what he added then to this encyclic was the very famous, very famous syllabus of errors. That is a collection of 80 opinions, 80 sentences that he, with his magisterial authority, condemned solemnly. It doesn't have the status of a dogma, but it's a very solemn magisterial act with high authority. And why I would like to present those opinions to you, so that you can see what kind of ideas are against the Catholic faith, but that have been spread not only in modern society, but also in the church. Maybe it will be a little bit dry for you because it's only a list of sentences. So I'll try to explain a little bit, but I'll try not to make it very long. It's in the end just a list, so it's probably not very exciting. But I want to give you this idea of what ideas are not Catholic. So there are some categories in this syllabus, and so he speaks against pantheism, naturalism, and absolute rationalism, moderate rationalism, a thing called indifferentism, and latitudinarianism. I'll explain what it means. And then again he speaks against socialism, already, communism, secret societies, biblical societies, clerical liberal societies. So he puts the liberal societies of priests into one category with Freemasons and communists. Just to mark. Okay. And then errors concerning the church and her rights. That's very long, cool. Not very, but rather. Errors about civil society considered both in itself and in its relation to the church. Civil society, very important question. That's the longest part. We won't do that today. And then errors concerning natural and Christian ethics, also important. And errors regarding the civil power of the sovereign pontiff. That is interesting, it's very short though. And errors having reference to modern liberalism. Okay. So maybe we'll take like 2 or 3 sessions till we get through that. We start now with pantheism. Pantheism, naturalism, and absolute rationalism. So the first sentence, it's 7 sentences he condemns. The first is, there exists no supreme, so condemned sentence, okay? Now comes a not Catholic sentence. There exists no supreme, all-wise, all-provident divine being, distinct from the universe. Distinct from the universe, that's important. And God is identical with the nature of things. That's pantheism. God is identical with the nature of things. So, the things we see, the beauty, the mountain, what mountains, let's say, the forests. I'm sorry, I lived in Switzerland for 4 years. So I always told the faithful, you have beautiful mountains. But we have beautiful forests and beautiful ocean and all that. Okay? There's a Swiss person. You know what I'm talking about, right? So, the error is to say, all this beauty is God. That's it. It's quite spread today in some countries. Quite spread. The beauty of nature is God himself. That's pantheism. It's condemned. It's not Christian. And is therefore God subject to changes. Logical. If God is identical with nature, and we see nature changes all the time, so naturally God changes too. Has to. Because nature changes. And in fact, God is produced in man and in the world, and all things are God and have the very substance of God. And God is one and the same thing with the world, and therefore spirit with matter, necessity with liberty, good with evil, justice with injustice. That all these things follow from the error to say God is identical with nature. Then you have to say he changes, and then you see in nature good things, bad things, justice, injustice, cruelty, love, everything we see. If you say everything is God, then you have to arrive to say, at the point of saying, God is all that. He's good, he's bad. He's love, he's hate. See, this is what pantheism leads to. You destroy completely what God is. Second sentence that is condemned. All action of God upon man and the world is to be denied. That's so-called deitism. It's what the Freemasons believe. God, there is a God. He created the world, but after creating the world, he turned his back on the world and doesn't care about it anymore. He doesn't do anything in the world. Okay? That is also there. Third, human reason, without any reference whatsoever to God, is the sole arbiter of truth and falsehood, and of good and evil. It is law to itself and suffices by its natural force to secure the welfare of men and of nations. Now that's absolute rationalism. Kicking out God of your world completely and constituting your own reason as the highest authority that exists. That's what the Freemasons during the French Revolution did. When they put what they did to symbolize that, they took a whore from the streets, a prostitute, and put her on the main altar of Notre Dame de Paris and adored her as the goddess of reason. What a blasphemy. But this is exactly where this comes from. This is exactly that idea. God, he has created, but the world, but he doesn't do anything in the world, and our reason is not in no way depending on God. It is absolute. It is autark, our reason. That is absolute rationalism. All the truths of religion proceed from the innate strength of human reason. Hence, reason is the ultimate standard by which man can and ought to arrive at the knowledge of all truths of every kind. So, all you need is reason. You need no God, nothing else. Just reason, just thinking, and that's it. But you see already the error in that, because thinking will lead you to God. So, this is a kind of a crazy thing to say, no, you have to think, and then you'll arrive at truth. But from the beginning, you have to exclude God from your thinking. Okay, so that is irrational. So there is a deep irrationality in rationalism. Okay, it's a self-contradicting, so to speak. Divine revelation and is imperfect, they say, and therefore subject to a continual and indefinite progress, corresponding with the advancement of human reason. Okay? So, the error is to say, what is revealed to us by God is not finished. It is always, it needs to be developed with our reason, our human reason. So, okay? So they say, there is no set, no depositum fidei, there is no unchangeable truth that has been revealed to us by God, but there has been something has been revealed. This is not liberal Catholicism. There has been something has been revealed, but it is our task to evolve it, to bring it forward. And well, the truth is, the magisterium has always done what it has taken the truths revealed by the apostles and by Christ and deduced logical conclusions. but the basis, the foundation, is the revelation. Okay, so there is a certain development which is not against the faith. Okay? But what the liberals mean is that it is not necessary to have this revelation as a foundation, but we can add things and change it. Just if we think it's reasonable. So this is the error. The faith of Christ is in opposition to human reason, liberals say. And divine revelation not only is not useful, but is even hurtful to the perfection of man. So now this error says religion is an obstacle to the perfection of mankind. That's a very common thought today too. Okay? There are so many people who think that Christianity is an impediment to human progress, to the development of our great nature, of our, all the dogmas and the commandments and all that. This is impediment that hinders us to develop freely. Very common thought in modern society, and among Catholics even, and a temptation for us even sometimes too, maybe. We who live in this world and of godlessness and see all that. And the last sentence is, the prophecies and miracles set forth and recorded in the sacred scriptures are the fiction of poets. Fiction of poets. And the mysteries of the Christian faith, the result of philosophical investigations. In the books of the Old and the New Testament, there are contained mythical inventions, and Jesus Christ is himself a myth. Okay? Liberal Catholicism in extreme form. In a very extreme form. Today, people I know personally, Catholic teachers of religion, of faith, laymen who teach at school, who believe exactly that. The Bible is a very nice, beautiful book of fairy tales. Nice, bedside stories. And yes, they should teach them to your children. It's absolutely worth it. They're rich and they're deep and beautiful, and you can learn so much from them. But it's just a story, not historical. It didn't happen. And it doesn't have to, because it's just a story. That's, it sounds sort of nice, because they have they value scripture sort of as being rich and all that, but in the end there's simply the denial of faith in that. They say it's not true. It didn't happen. Maybe Jesus didn't even live. That's the thing that so many liberals say today. You hear that even from theologians sometimes. Theologians. Yeah. Very far spread today. Very far spread. Okay. Let's go to the second one. I hope you're still... Sorry, I wanted to take to the first three categories today. So we'll see it through now. So the second category is, now this was absolute rationalism, very radical rationalism, and now comes a more moderate rationalism, sentences of more moderate rationalism. So first is, as human reason is placed on a level with religion itself, so theological must be treated in the same manner as philosophical sciences. So this is now moderate. It doesn't kick out Christ or God altogether, but it says it has the same value as our reason, as science, as natural sciences. So it is not superior. Revelation, religion is just of the same kind, just one of many. Okay, and that's why we have to treat revelation and theology the same way we treat natural sciences. Okay, that means consequently there may be errors and we can change it. Of course, natural sciences, there occur many errors, and you have to find the errors and change them, come closer to the truth. So that's what, if you think like that, you will start changing faith if you think there is an error. The more moderate liberalism gets, the more dangerous it is, because it's harder to see it. The radical liberalism, you can easily understand that's not Catholic, but in the moderate one, that will still accept religion to a certain extent, degree. That's the thing. Next, all the dogmas of the Christian religion are indiscriminately the object of natural science or philosophy. And human reason, enlightened only solely in a historical way, is able by its own natural strength and principles to attain to the true science of even the most abstruse dogmas, provided only that such dogmas be proposed to reason itself as its object. So basically what it says is the error is with our human reason we can judge revelation. So plain and simple. It's all everything. So everything. The reason is elevated on the same level as religion. That's basically the common error. As the philosopher is one thing and philosophy another, so it is the right and duty of the philosopher to subject himself to the authority which he shall have proved to be true. But philosophy neither can nor ought to submit to any such authority. So this is basically saying that you can be a Catholic, let's say a Catholic philosopher, he can, in his private life, be a Catholic and believe in Catholic and all the dogmas, but as soon as he writes books of philosophy, he's completely free. There's no boundaries. He can say whatever he wants, not subject to the faith at all, and must not be. So they want philosophy and science to be completely free of faith. Free. The freedom of faith means to fall into error, because faith gives us light, truly. So the Church not only ought never to pass judgment on philosophy, but ought to tolerate the errors of philosophy, leaving it to correct itself. So again, complete free independence of philosophy and natural sciences. That's what this moderate rationalism demands. Okay? The Church is there. Church is good. Be Catholic in your lives, but keep your theological, your clerical, your magisterial fingers out of our philosophical thinking. Don't disturb us. We don't want the faith in our philosophical thought. We want to arrive at truth with our reason alone. We come to church on Sunday. I agree to everything the Pope says, but if I write my book of philosophy, I don't want the Pope to meddle with that. Okay? It's that sort of twisted attitude, this self-contradicting attitude, sort of. It's I don't know how Cardinal Pius, who lived, I think, in the beginning of the 20th century, I think he was a very famous French cardinal, and he defined what liberalism is in one sentence. And I was surprised when I read this verse, because I expected like a list of errors or whatever. No, he says the essence of a liberal is inner incoherence. Inner incoherence. That means a liberal, what is the essence of a liberal is today he will say something that's Catholic, and tomorrow he will do something that's absolutely not Catholic and have no problem with it. Okay? Today he will declare that everybody should go to confession and that we should pray and fight against the devil. And tomorrow he will sign a document of Lund, or with the Protestants or with the Muslims in the East, creating some, like, attempting to make a one religion, world religion or something. That's, you know what I'm talking about, of course. But the basis, the essence, don't be surprised that Pope Francis sometimes says good things. Don't be surprised at that. That's the essence of the liberal. They will not only speak error, they will, without bad conscience, say good things and bad things. And that's why an era of liberalism is an era of confusion. That's the mark, the sign. You see, times are so crazy and confusing because of this liberal attitude in the church. The decrees of the Apostolic See and of the Roman congregations impede the true progress of science. So we have this. It's always this. So the church has nothing to say in science and philosophy. That's the idea of this. The method and principles by which the old scholastic doctors cultivated theology are no longer suitable to the demands of our times and to the progress of the sciences. Same thing. St. Thomas Aquinas, he was good. He was great. Great man. But now we've advanced so far in theology and philosophy and science that this is just out of date. We need another kind of theology. That's called new theology today. Exactly because of that, because they thought the old scholastic theology is out of date. We need something new that fits better to the progress of modern philosophy of science. And that's called new theology. Philosophy is to be treated without taking any account of supernatural revelation. Okay. So all the same, you're very tired. I know it's tiring. It's also just a list of things. But now the third and the last one, indifferentism and latitudinarism. Every man is free to embrace and profess that religion which, guided by the light of reason, he shall consider true. Condemned error, condemned sentence. So, look for, it is good if you look for the truth for religion, you can embrace any religion you want, and you may not be hindered, stopped to do that. Okay? You have this absolute freedom. And further, man may, in the observance of any religion whatever, find the way of eternal salvation and arrive at eternal salvation. And that will lead you to heaven. If you just follow your conscience, if you choose the religion that you think, personally feel the thing is the best for you, go for it, do it. You go to heaven because you're a good person. Have I heard that before? So, good hope at least is to be entertained of the eternal salvation of all those who are not at all in the true Church of Christ. In the documents of the Second Vatican Council, you find things like, and the general idea is the Catholic religion is the best, but the others are okay too. So, yeah, if you're a Catholic, stay, but if you're a Protestant or Orthodox, go on. It's a little less, a little harder to say yourself, but only a little. I mean, you can, it's okay. And that's why today bishops will not allow, for example, Orthodox converts to do the conversion. That is the reason. Because they can't get saved. It's okay. And this is a drama, dear faithful. A drama.
They prohibit bishops to convert. There are
bishops very close to us too, who will not, or at least in some cases, did not allow Orthodox people who wanted to become Catholic to do the conversion because of fear of the ecumenical council. That's liberalism. That's exactly that. Okay, it would be nice if it was possible, but I'll have problems with the Orthodox priest here, and if I do this, and if I allow you to convert. And so I know it's a little harder in Orthodoxy than in Catholicism, but for peace's sake, stay Orthodox and you'll be safe. It's okay. Don't worry. That's liberalism, pure liberalism. The truth is that's a dogma now. This is now a sentence that is heretical, because it's a dogma extra ecclesia nulla salus. Outside of the Catholic Church there is no salvation. It's a dogma. So it's not just an opinion of religion, it's a teaching of the Catholic Church. So if anybody gets saved outside of the Catholic Church, that is only because he has somehow has received grace from the Church, although he's not part of it, by having a very pure heart, by being in an error that it's not his fault, and he's seeking God, he wants to save him, he wants to be just and good, and he does everything he can to achieve that, but he has no chance to find the true church. Then, in that case, he can get saved because he is in a condition of will. This is called the baptism of desire. By his condition of will, he is able to receive the saving grace, the grace of salvation, although he is not really a member of the church. But the church always said, but these cases are very rare, because without the sacrament, without being Catholic, without the faith, it is so difficult for us not to fall into sin and error. Faulty error, sinful error. We need grace to be good. So these cases are very rare, that someone is so pure and good that he can get saved even without being a Catholic, because he doesn't have the connection to the sacraments who make him pure, who make him good, that make him good. So the liberals will say, if you're just a nice person and good, you get saved, whatever religion or not religion you have, and now we're going so far that Pope Francis will say even an atheist can get saved if he's just a good person. That's what he said, Pope Francis. Atheists can be saved if they're just good. They're just nice. Of course, in theory, actually no, because the existence of God is so obvious to a thinking mind that to deny it cannot go without sin, cannot go without obstrecation of will or something. The simple existence of God is, for a thinking, open-hearted thinking person, this is almost evident. Almost. So there is this naivety among liberals and liberal Catholics that we need no mission. It's okay, be a good person, be a good Protestant, be a good Muslim, be a good Orthodox, do your best and you'll be fine. You'll get saved. Just wherever you are, whatever religion you have, just do it well. Do it with all your heart. And then you go to heaven. That is liberalism. And that is an error that is so heartbreaking, because it is such a lie. Such a lie. How do you want to get saved without sacraments, without the true faith? How do you want to have grace? It is, as I said, the chances are so small with our fallen nature to achieve that without the true religion. We need mission. We need to tell the people what the truth is. We need to pray for them. We need to help them that they find the true church. Otherwise, their chances are very low to get saved. Very low. And the liberals, they create this illusion that is no problem. It's okay. And that is common thinking in the modern church. Common thinking. Protestantism is nothing more than another form of the same true Christian religion, and in which form it is given to please God equally as in the Catholic Church. No comment. Yes. Many priests even say that. Many priests. And that's those who want to celebrate liturgy together with the Protestants. We're all the same. Come on, little differences, historical quarrels, and theological controversies. You're a good Christian, I'm a good Christian, let's say Mass together. I give you communion, you give me communion. We'll all be fine. We go to heaven. But that's what they do. I'm sorry. That's what they do. Go to Germany, go to Switzerland, go to Austria. That's what they do. You're laughing, you're right with that, but that's what's happening. It's happening in the church these days. The fourth point I don't have to go into because the syllabus doesn't go into it. And this is a very important thing actually. Socialism, communism, secret societies, biblical societies, clerical, liberal societies. The Pope simply says, tests of this kind are frequently reprobated in the severest terms in the encyclicals, da 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 da. And then I can give you these encyclicals if you like. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 documents of the magistry that clearly and severely and strictly condemn socialism, communism, secret societies, Freemasonry, biblical societies, and clerical liberal societies. He just says this. So he lists out those five documents. Would be interesting to read them. Okay, I'll stop here for today. We've done the first 4 categories, and then we continue next time with the 5th category. Other questions? It's very warm. It's been a long morning. I understand. So probably
Just one comment.
yes.
That it is tragic.
Yeah.
It's always tragic. We laugh, but it's reality. It's tragic.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And the liberals, they may be so nice people, such nice people. They're not bad people. They're not liberal priests are not bad in the sense of mean people, dark people, cruel people. No, they are often very nice people. Very nice, very friendly. You like to sit together and eat with them, and it's okay. Good people, okay, but they do not see reality. They do not see the fact that we live in a time when certainly more than 99% of souls go to hell after they die. More than that. They don't see that because they have been trained by liberal teachers, by liberal seminaries. They don't know it. Maybe sometimes not even their fault that they don't know it. That they don't see it. Our Lady in Fatima, when she showed hell to the 3 little children, she said that souls, and it was 1917, souls nowadays, they go to hell like snowflakes. Now imagine a snowfall. And that was the image Our Lady herself used. That many souls went to hell. Every moment. Because every moment, thousands of people die in the world. And most of those souls, they go to hell. Because they do not have grace. They don't have the faith. And therefore, they don't have the strength to be good. It's so, as you say, tragic. It's so, and this must motivate us to be missionaries. Not only Father Schulze, who has been sent here by his superiors, but every one of us in his own way. Prayer, whatever he can, to help to save souls. At least prayer. Not everybody has the talent to talk to people, of course. But at least we all can pray. We all can pray and offer our daily suffering for the conversions of people. And for the enlightenment of priests and bishops. Because they're the ones who tell these things to the people. And not even, they have this responsibility, but nowadays, even they, as I said, sometimes not even their fault, because they've never heard anything else in their liberal seminaries. Nice people raised in Catholic families want to become a priest because they're pious, and they go to a seminary, and there they get all this liberal teaching, and they are not able to discern, to see that there is something wrong, and they swallow it, and they think that's Catholic, and then they teach it.
They can visit the fsspx homepage.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Well, yeah. But maybe not the present ones. A little bit.
They heard about the bad fsspx priest.
Yeah, for example. Yes, yeah. So this problem can be solved as soon as you start actually reading what we say. Then this is resolved usually. If you read what the position of the society, if you get to know it, then you usually, if you're not already a staunch liberal, you usually cannot maintain any longer that this is not Catholic.
It's kind of weird that they don't realize it just by the syllabus encyclical from the past.
Well, they don't read it. I'm telling you, there are in Germany the society has met professors of theology, Catholic professors teaching at universities, who had never read a document like this in their life. There were some things there was, I can't remember exactly the era, there was a heresy that a professor publicly defended. And then one of our seminary professors, he was there when he had this lecture in the university, and I can't remember which heresy it was. But after that, he told the professor, but this is you just said a heresy. What you're teaching is heresy. And he showed them the place and the document, and this professor was out of his mind. He had never known that his position was heretical. He just didn't know it. A professor. It's gone that far, you faithful. The crisis is so far advanced that the teachers themselves sometimes don't even know what is the truth. The teachers in the church. So it takes from our side. It takes a lot of. It takes two things. Always two things. Our own firmity in the faith. We need to know our faith. We need to believe it. We need to hold on to it and defend it. On the other hand, mercy with those who don't have it. Prayer for them. Love, a real Christian love. So it needs this firmity and this charity. And I think these two things are needed. All right. Anything else? Any question, commentary, or no? Okay. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper